Happy Friday. I know it's just waiting for things to kind of catch up here. Make sure we're live. Get all my camera screens in a row here going. See if I can get the channels all going live here that need to be going. Awesome. Checking on it all. Looks like we're all good there. How is everybody this evening? Looks like we're live, so I can mute my television. I hope you guys have all had a fabulous week. Hi, Luann. How are you? I'm just going to get one more thing set up over here. And hi, Brandon. And we'll get going. All right. So first thing. Ooh, I hit my table. Any links that I have linked down below are affiliate links, which just means if you used a link to place an order, I get a credit for that, and I get a small commission, which helps me bring you content. So I'm just gonna there we go. I'm good, Karen. Thank you. We had cooler weather, so I was able to open the windows all week. Stencil Palooza is going on yet through Monday, the 31st. Right? Yep. And so on the 1st, they will go away. So if you place an order for a Stencil Palooza stencil, you can order any Stencil Palooza stencils one at a time, a week at a time, or the whole shebang. And shipping is only $1. But if you add anything to it, then standard shipping applies. So let's head down to the desk. This is today's stencil. Let's see if I can find something to put that up against. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see. I'll grab a piece of black paper here. Hi, Mama. So this is the stencil. It's called Celtic Circles, I believe. It's a slim line, which I was talking to Jess earlier, and she laughed because she said she ended up figuring out that I had slim lines every Friday. But I said, hey, maybe you plan that because I love slim lines. So we're going to use that tonight. And then we are going to use the inspiration box here. I did grab the Autumn Breeze. I believe this is the one that's in the inspiration box. I hope so. Hi, Shalana. Here is the stamp set. I already have my fox and my deer cut out, and then we'll use one of the stencils. I have pulled the Elegant Eggs and the Spooky Party standalone cutting die for the arch. And then I did grab these, and I did link the Spice, the Jack-o'-lantern, and the Buttercup, but I didn't realize I forgot we had some glitter stock in the kit, so we may use that instead. So, hi, Miss Penny. How are you? All right, so let's get started right away. Pull this out. I haven't really pulled this out much this week, because I always like to save it for the box anyway, the actual inspiration box. So we've got some green little flock powder. I actually haven't worked with flock powder for a long time, so I hope to play with this tonight. I have an idea. We'll see. We've got some of the chunky glitter stock, maybe mocha nut or cinnamon. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I apologize for that. We have a piece of foil, like a coppery foil. This is probably a deco foil, copper foil. And we've got some green apple or poison apple glitter stock. This is one of my favorite colors. Card bases, which I'm going to put those aside. And then this month we got a foil sheet and a backer sheet, and we are going to use this tonight. I do have my foiling machine down. I did not start warming it up yet, but we'll use one of these, and we're definitely going to use one of these. So let's get that started first. I do want to tell you next week I will not be live. I will have a pre-recorded video. I haven't decided quite yet what I'm going to play with. I don't know for sure that my September stuff will arrive for me to record in time. So I can't promise that right now, but I know I'm going to be playing with something. And I cannot wait. I'm going to end up heading out to spend some time with my mama and my sister and help my mama with some things. So I'm just going to cut those down to an A2 card panel. So I like to do that first for all of my panels. I am kind of leaning towards this one for my first card. I like that these have this background, but there's a lot more going on with these. No, I'm going to change to this one because I want this open area. So I'm going to put these off to the side. And while I have my cutter out here, let me open my garbage can. If anybody has a fur baby that likes to get into the garbage, I have to keep a cutting board over the top of mine. I have a nice piece of wood that I put over the top of mine so that when I'm not crafting in here, he's not digging in the garbage. He likes to find pieces of paper. I'm going to go ahead and cut these down to A2 card panel size as well. And what I do is I follow along with the cutting edge because I like to cut the panels off. So like can't print all the way to the edge, so I do cut that part off. I don't know for sure which one I'm going to use. I'm going to save this one because I think that would make a fun Halloween card. So I'm going to put this one aside for sure. I'm leaning towards the mushrooms. And I say that because I have what I want to do. If I use these, I think they're going to cover up what I want to do at the top. So I'm going to lean these to the side and I'm going to use these mushrooms tonight. Okay. We'll do that. And we'll probably put them behind our thing. So while our fuse is heating up, my fuse is heating up, have it down on the floor here. I'm just going to turn it on and let it start heating up. We're going to use our stencil first. So I'm going to use the stencil and I'm just going to go in and find a very light ink. I'm going to try Buzzkill first, see how light this one is. Just get a blending brush, and I'm not going to wipe my blending brush off. I mean, I'm not going to clean my brush. I'm just going to wipe it good. Sorry if I've shaped the table. Then I will grab some of this Buzzkill, and we're just going to see what we think, how this looks. I might be just enough. And I'm going to actually go like this with my panel. And put my magnets down. I don't need to use any pixie spray for this. And I think I'm just going to move my camera a bit. So if you get a little seasick, close your eyes for a second. Twist it just a little bit more. You can see the mess that's on my desk there. That's better. All right. And I'm just going to kind of hold it down and I'm going to blend. Yep, we're just going to see that panel just a little bit, which is all I want, is a very thin, nice background. Now, I will be making videos this weekend, tomorrow, for the Sunday stencils. There'll be 2 stencils on Sunday yet. And then Monday will be the last day. And I believe Sarah will have it and use it during her live for Stencil Palooza. And like I said, then they're going back in the vault. So if you want them, you should get them. Thank you. Cinnamon. I wondered. I couldn't remember what it was called. I was like, mocha. No, I think it's Cinnamon Chunky. I appreciate that. I did not even look before. I just was like, oh, it'll be cardstock. And then I'm like, oh, it's chunky stock. But I forgot to look. I was distracted by the basketball game. All right. And then before I pull that off, copper. I thought it was the copper deco foil. I'm going to go ahead and cover this up. I'm going to actually kind of cover this up with a few cloths here. You could just use paper. I just want to spritz kind of that area that I colored. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper here. Go over this way just a little bit. So I just want to spritz this area. And of course, you know me, I'm going to use my ornament gold. So shake that up real good here, quick. We're just going to spritz. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to dab. And that will just give that one little area there a little bit of shimmer. Here's the reveal. Oh, how pretty. Oh, how pretty. Bring that up. So we just got that little bit. And it's okay because, like if I said, I put my deer here, you're not going to be able to see the rest. So I thought that just adds just a little bit of interest. And then, of course, that sparkle will be beautiful there once it's done. So let's set this aside to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off my desk. And I heard my fuse beep. So I've got it set to 4 here. And I have my carrier sheet. I have gotten smart. I have one of the ThermoWeb carrier sheets. I've started putting my carrier sheet under my fuse so that when I go to look for it, I know exactly where it's at. And I do not need a big piece of the foil. So I'm just going to take my scissors and cut a little corner here. Oops, not those scissors. They're gunky. They're gunky. So then I can save the rest of this for another time. All right. Now, what I recommend doing is when you're in here, if you feel like I feel this, I know this side is well, first of all, if you look at it, but if you ever get it backwards, this is so smooth. This has a little bit of texture, so I know this is the printed side. I'm going to go ahead and put my foil in there. We'll run this through. Does anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? I am caught up with what I need to do other than my Stencilpalooza stencils, which they don't take too long to film. That's the nice part about that. And of course, I got to film for next weekend, but I won't probably do that till later this week. So my plan is to play in my craft room. I got all of my CYOE done last weekend, so I'm caught up with that. And I have quite a few classes coming up. I've got the SCT event. I also did the Halloween class for them, and we have the Sunflower Soiree class coming up, and the SVG class coming up, and the Tricks or Treats class coming up. Much to say that that's the other thing I should say is don't forget about the advent calendars. If you buy the bundle, they are $75 for both. If you buy the advent calendar separately, if you want if you don't do Halloween or you don't do Christmas and you just want one of each, they are $50 each. So if you do both, I recommend getting the bundle. This is the last call for them. When they are gone, they are gone. And they will begin shipping out in a couple weeks. And I will be creating videos to go with them. And I also heard there'll be some other samples too. So if you want to create along with me, now I will be creating obviously in advance, but they will go live starting October 19th. And that way you could craft along with me. And I pretty much try to only use the box and then maybe a few other things like ink or basic embossing powder or basic cardstocks or basic shapes. So that way you're not having to figure out from your stash. Or if I do need to find like a sentiment, I try to find basic sentiments. So, all right, are you ready for the reveal? 1, 2, 3. Look at how beautiful. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful too. So we're just going to put that aside for right now. I don't know if I'm going to, it's going to blow away. I got to find I have a fan going in here. Find a safe spot for that. Look at that beautiful foil. It's so pretty. So now I'm going to grab my background and look at how that is. Look at how beautiful that is. Just beautiful. Sorry, I can't get over it. I love foil. All right. Now, I am going to try to do the entire background with foil. So one little trick that I can tell you can also do is a little pixie spray. Hey, Shiloh. I watched the beginning of your craft roulette. I have to watch the replay because I knew I wasn't going to get the whole thing. So I didn't want to watch it all. I thought I'm going to watch the replay later tonight. So if you didn't know, my friend Shiloh was on craft roulette tonight, you guys. So I just added a little pixie spray. Now, if you see it, oh no, oops. Well, thank you. That's funny. I'm sorry. You know, my daughter called once, Shiloh, actually during my live and kicked my camera off. And then I'm like, oh, if she calls again, you guys, I have to go because she's traveling. But if you can see the pixie spray, see? But when you go down and put it down on here, and it's just, it's not perfect, but it'll be enough. It'll be enough. And of course I didn't get it quite even. I'm going to leave it and we're just going to cut off the extra because I don't want to peel it up and I want it to start adhering together. So we're just going to peel it, cut it off at the top and on the side. So a little pixie spray can do you good. You can also do, there's other spray adhesive, but you want to go very light with it. And I did, I've been very, very light. And then we have this pretty, pretty background. Okay, so it's gonna be a pretty basic card. We need a sentiment and we need our little fowl. So I have my little deer here and I have my little fox. Don't know which one I want to do. I think I'm going to do the deer because I want him to be tall because of these mushrooms. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little fun. I'm going to find, hold on one second. I got to grab my tape on another. I need my double-sided tape. Oh, I wouldn't have thought of that either. That's a good thing to know. Because I always put, even though I have my phone to like focus mode, I try to put on do not disturb now all the time. Other than the fact that the only reason my daughter would get through is because she's emergency contact. So she can break through if she needs to, because she doesn't live near me. So I figure if she needs me, she better be able to get a hold of me. But I'm sorry about that. I hope you were able to get back in, or it was at the end. Okay, double-sided adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off, and I'm just going to tear the other side. And then I'm going to line this up really nice, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just put in a little bit of double-sided adhesive, and I'm going to use my grid line on my can. And then put that down. I'm only going to do one low. I know, but I feel like it is. This is a fun fact about me. I had my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, used to say she was sorry even when it wasn't her fault. And I think that's where I get it from. I remember distinctly when I was a very little girl getting upset because the big kids wouldn't play with me. Like I was really little, like before second grade little, because it was before I moved to where I graduated from. And I remember telling her, and she kept telling her she was sorry. And I was just getting madder and madder because I'm like, Grandma, it's not your fault. Stop saying you're sorry. And she was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry the kiddos won't play with you. And I think it was just the neighborhood kids because I was little. All right, so I peeled that off. Now, I have a fan going, so hopefully I'm not about to make a big mistake. We're going to add a little bit of this block. Now, yes, I do have the double-sided adhesive stuck to the back. I'm going to try to be very careful and not get that part attached. Here's the little green flock. And I'm going to go ahead and add it to my card. Like I said, I have not played with flock in a long time. And of course, since I said I have my fan going, it might blow. I'm just going to kind of rub it in. I'm okay with it getting on the back side because nobody's going to see that part. And I'm just going to burnish it with my finger. I may have to add a little bit more to this after I'm live because I turn my fan off, but I'm not going to run over and turn my fan off right now. And that is, we got that fun little texture. Oh, thanks, Susan. Hello. Happy Friday. All right, so now I got a mess of flock. I'm going to try to clean it up as best I can, but I'm sure I'll have to be cleaning up more flock tomorrow. I'm super excited because I have a goal of my own. I hit over 500 subscribers, which is super exciting for me. I've been trying to get to 1,000, but 500 was my first goal, and I did hit that earlier this year. I don't know if I'm going to get to 1,000 by the end of the year because there's not too much time left, but I have a new series that I'm hoping to start filming, but I'm going to just tease you a little bit about it. And once I get it started, I'm going to get a couple videos down before I put it in. I'm super excited about it. So, all right. So now I'm going to go ahead and push this down one more time with my fingers just to make sure it's stuck. It's nice and soft. Like this would be fun for some flowers too. Like if you had some double-sided, you could have like a double-sided adhesive sheet and die cut it out and then put your flowers in it. But I recommend you try not to have your fan going up above. All right, I'm going to need to go ahead and put this on a card base because I have that double-sided adhesive. This is one of the card bases that comes in the kit. All right, this card is almost done. I'm just going to set it up. I'm going to go ahead and set it up towards the bottom because I can trim off the top and no one has to know that it's not quite an A2 size. Okay, there we go. So now our little deer is going to fit right here on standing on our little flocky. Isn't that fun? But I think we're going to pop him up. I think he needs to be popped up a little bit. So I'm going to grab my adhesive. Get a piece cut for the body. Yeah, see that? My scissors. I cleaned them last weekend, but I cut the wrong type of foam tape. I have this one foam tape that's, I don't know where I got it from, and I've had it for a while, and I'm trying to use it up, and it was so sticky. My mama, I think she's doing okay. Mama, she is in the crowd. I'm going to go see her next weekend. So, and Mama, I am making a new recipe for us to try. It is, I saw it online, and it's blueberry donut loaf cake. And I'm making it because, you know, us in the family, we love blueberries. We're a blueberry family. My dad used to pick blueberries all the time, wild blueberries. And where I grew up in northern Minnesota. And so I'm going to make, I know I'm so excited to bake it. So there we go. It was we had a fun week. So my dad was a twin, for those of you who didn't know. And my dad's twin and his wife are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary this year. And they've had some trials and tribulations in their life as well. You know, they've had some health issues and stuff. And they're, you know, every day it's been fun to, you know, it's been great to see them, you know, get through them and work through them and get stronger and all this. But the Minnesota State Fair did a special on them yesterday. And it was really fun to watch. I got to watch it live. I knew what time it was going live. I got to see them. They were live on television in the background. I got to see them and my cousins. And I was texting all of my family, and I'm like, they're up next. And I'm like, I see, you know, my cousin this, and I see this cousin, and I see this cousin. I'm like, there's my aunt, there's my uncle. So that was really fun. So, and I will get to go to the State Fair next week. And we call it the Great Minnesota Get Together, for those of you who don't know it. And it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We have a bench with my last name, which is Vanderwerf, that my family had got and put. And so I get to go see the bench for the first time next weekend. Oh, she's excited for me to come visit. There we go. Well, there's the basis of our card. Now we need a sentiment. Now, and I do need to trim that top off. So let's do that quick before I forget. So if I did share it over on my Facebook page, but otherwise you can go to wcco.com and you can see the video yourself if you would like to. It was very fun. And I just like listening. They have a whole thing about the state fair in Minnesota and the different things that's there. And that was really fun to watch too. All right. So we've got Hello Fall, Fall is in the air, Cozy Autumn Greetings, Happy Harvest, Hedgehogs. Hedgehogs is perfect for the little hedgehog here. Now I don't have the squirrel. I thought I had the squirrel, but I don't have these guys cut out. I just have the big ones cut out right now. So that's what we're going to use. I think I'm going to go with Hello Fall. And I'm just going to pull a piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to just stamp it down in black because I have the outline of black from my my deer. And that I stamped my deer on perfect blend paper. I used the SVG files to cut them out and stamp. I like to cut and then stamp using negative. And then I colored it in with some Olo markers. All right, just trim this down. I'm super excited because just an hour or two before maybe 2 hours before we went live, the design team, we all got our sneaky peek for next month's release. I mean, the rest of it, we kind of knew some things, but we got to sneak a peek at it. So it's super exciting. Like all the different thingies. And of course, I'm excited like always. But I'm excited every month. Because every month it just keeps getting better and better and better. And pop up this guy too. So Shiloh, did it go well on Craft Roulette? Did you get your card? Did you get any crazy parameters? I have to ask. I mean, I'm going to watch later, but I'm sure you did fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this in this corner. And there is our first card, you guys. Okay, for our second card, I'm going to use this Autumn Breeze paper pad. And I'm going to pull out, I think this one, just because I pulled it out. And this is where I'm going to pull in, I don't know, do we want to do the eggs? Do we want to do, I'm going to do this one. Yeah, the parameters. Oh, you love, oh, thanks, Mama. The parameters, were they good? Or did you have some scary ones? I used to watch all the time, and then since I moved my craft room, I don't get to watch it as often live, which it's so much easier for me to go crafting live and play along when it's live than when it's the repeat. ATC card, produce colors, trees, and 3 circles. Okay, it's an ATC card. That's small. That's a lot of stuff to put on a small ATC card. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut out this also from this beautiful cinnamon chunky glitter stock. The glitter stock does not shed. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it off like this. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it up right. I made ATC cards 1 time, 2 times. I did them once and sent to them for the very first CYOE that I couldn't end up attending during the shutdown. I will save this piece, you guys. Oh, okay, the ACT on a card. Okay, so there, okay, that would make it a little bit easier because then you have a little bit more space. But yeah, that'd be fun. I can't wait to watch it. All right, so these are our 2 pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of white cardstock here. Okay, that worked. Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot. Thank you, Cordelia. I mean, I've that would make sense. I was just thinking sometimes because I know sometimes there's been like a purse card or an A7 card, so I didn't know if you actually had to end up making an ATC. I'm going to go ahead and look at these colors. I'm going to pull in an orange, and I'm going to pull in my favorite. Nope, I rearranged them in the proper order, and so I keep grabbing fruitcake instead of guppy. And then we're going to go ahead, and I'm not gonna pixie spray this down, and I'm not going to move everything out and get my little stick and stay mat out. We're just going to go for it. We're going to do the whole background. But I might grab a little bit of yellow too, that buzzkill. I don't know if I want buzzkill. I think we need to go slippery when wet. That looks a little bit closer to that color. All right, that works for me. And we'll add a little bit of orange in this corner up here, just so that when we go ahead and add the other colors. All right, then slippery when wet. Oh yeah, the glitter stock is beautiful, and it doesn't shed. The chunky stock doesn't. It's so pretty. I mean, it's pretty in camera, but it's really pretty in person. And I love the paper. I only have one of these, Shiloh. You'll be proud of me. I think. I shouldn't speak. I think. I thought I only had one. I was going to order a second one, and I think I forgot. So you'd be proud of me. I didn't order more than one of them this month. Even though I really like to have the paper, because I think 6x6 is a fun size to have, because you can very easily cut them down to make slimline cards, which can be quick and fast. So I think next week I might have to make some Halloween cards, even though I'll be making a ton of Halloween cards with the Halloween box. I just might have to, because there's some stuff from this release I haven't been able to use yet. And that's no fun, because it's been a great release. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you, these are the colors these are the two colors. OR 3.4 and 3.2 are the main colors on my deer. And the 2.5, 2.20, and the 7.1 are what I used on my fox. And of course I used a few, like the colorless blender and a pink, but those, you don't see those colors enough. All right. I am going to, yes. Well, I try to use the one of the month. And this time I've actually used this one like 3 times, and I've used it in 3 or 4 videos. So I'm proud of myself. But then I'm going to look at it and be like, oh, it's almost gone. You need another pad, which is not true. So I'm trying to be a good girl. I've been a good girl, not purchasing anything I don't need right now and sticking to. Oh, I revealed it. There's the reveal. Sorry about that, you guys. I was so intent on wiping up my mess. So look at this fun color. Hi, Jamie. And it looks like I kind of missed the edge here a little bit, so we're going to cut this one down. So we'll cut it down to 4 by 5.25. How are you tonight, Jamie? I know. I feel like I better. I'll check first to make sure there's not one hiding in my basket over there, because I cleaned up my room last weekend. I did a little bit. I mean, I really cleaned up. I went through all of my design team stuff, put that stuff away. I still had the April stuff here, and I still had, you know what? Let's make a flap card. Thank you. We're going to let this dry a little bit. I'm going to make a flap card. Okay, so I need my scoreboard. Excuse me a second. I don't have it in its normal spot. I cleaned up a bunch of stuff. I shouldn't say they cleaned up everything, but I cleaned up a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry if I move the camera because it's under my computer. But I wanted to finish my CYOE, so that, and then I found some new storage bins, which are really cool. I'll show you at the end because you can't see it on this camera. I'm going to line this up and I'm going to go over about 1/8 of an inch. Ooh. So it's at not quite 4. So I'm going over to the 3 5/8 mark, and I'm just going to score it because it's easier for me to score from this side. This will be fun. I didn't even think about this. All right, now we'll do the same thing with this one. This makes the perfect flap. And I could have scored. We might have to score this one again. All right. And then I'm going to fold this over. And this is perfect on the side. It's not, even though it's white, it doesn't have, I can stamp on it, but I don't need to if I don't want to, because it's perfectly white. Okay. All right. Then what we're going to do is, so you could do it 2 different ways. We could do it this way, but I feel like I want to do it this way and make it kind of like a belt buckle. See how fun that is? Look at how fun that is. All right, so let's get this glue down. We need some more double-sided adhesive. I had it here. Where did anyone see where I put it? Double-sided adhesive. There it is. So like I said, in the description box, I did link some other glitter stocks. I'm probably not going to use them tonight. If I had some time earlier, I could have maybe die cut some out. I'm just going to put some double-sided adhesive on the little flap. I don't even know where I got this double-sided adhesive from, so I can't tell you. It looks like it's 1/4 inch. Hi, Joanne. How are you? How was Crafty Day? I can't make it during the week, but you guys know that. Did you make it? I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it upside down. I'm going to put it right up against the flap, and I'm going to fold it over. And then I want my other foam folder. And we're going to just burnish the ends. And then I'm going to actually stick it on my mat. And I'm going to stick it so that this edge is matched up with, you guys can't barely see that, but I'm going to do that so I can use my, the edge of the grid mat to match it up so that they kind of match. So I need to match this up right here. Put it up to the, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Take your time. Match that up. I'm going to fold that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and just use regular adhesive to start, and I'll add a little bit of strong adhesive too. When you got these nice kind of dies, like these archway dies, you can do this because you can add a little flap to them when they're the bigger size. Pull off some of that double-sided adhesive just to help make sure it stays flat. You could have put some double-sided adhesive over those flaps, but I think it'll be fine. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you had fun. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I thought about you guys, though. All righty. Look at how fun this is. Okay, we're going to make sure it goes down like this. We're going to go ahead and just center it on our card base as much as we can. I kind of went to the bottom a little bit, but look at how fun this is, you guys. And then I can go whoop, whoop. So what I think I'm going to do, and I'm going to stick my magnet down, is we got our little fox guy here. We're going to go ahead and put him down on top of here. And in my little bin here, I already have one of the owls colored. And I'm going to go ahead and grab that guy. Ooh, I do have a couple stamps set out too. Let's do, what time is it? Oh, we got time. Let's color our hedgehogs in instead. And then I'm going to put we're going to use the hedgehogs. And we're also going to do fall is in the air. Okay. No, let's do cozy autumn greetings. Yes, I had some greetings stuck up. Thank you. Thank you, Mom. I might know that already, though. All right, so I'm going to let this sit here for a minute. We're going to put this guy down, and we're going to glue him down. I'm going to glue him flat. Just because we're going to put him down right here. And we're going to put our cozy greetings. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plop this guy up with a little foam tape. And I'm going to make a cheater flap. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull off the adhesive, maybe, right? And then I'm going to grab some liquid glue because this is chunky glitter stock. I like to use both sticky adhesive and liquid adhesive because I feel like it sticks better. Had tremendous luck. I think this is a Genie K bottle, you guys, and I don't know what glue's in there. I think there's barely arts glue in there, but it is. That bottle has been great for me. And I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to put it down. Let's put it up here. And of course, I got a little glue right there, but that's fine. It'll dry clear. And so that will help it look at it stays closed. So then I can go whoop, whoop. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to get our little hedgehog things right here. So it's hidden. And then we're going to get our little hedgehogs right under here. Now, I did actually put this on a card base. So I may slip this off because I don't need to have it on a card base. And all I'm going to do is, I should have just put it on cardstock. I'm just going to go ahead and quick cut that down. Quick slice off that top part. And this is, since our card bases are in a perfect blend, I can use this to blend. Okay, so let's open this guy up. I'm going to put my hedgehogs down first. I'm going to just center it best I can eyeball it there. And then I'm going to let this sit for a minute while we color. Now, what color do we make our hedgehogs? It's my card, so I can make it any color I want, right? So we're going to pluck. I'm going to start with this 07.1 because I think that's what the little faces need to be. Just a light brown color. Very quickly. We're not going to do a lot of shading. I'll probably come in and do a tiny bit of shading. Oh, the sound effects. I'm a talker, so, you know. And it's different when people can talk back at you because you don't have to necessarily, you know. And that was 07.1. Okay. And I think I'm going to grab, let me see what I have for colors here. I'm going to grab the 7.2 and add just a little bit right around there and a little bit on his belly. And then I will fade that out. A little bit on his belly and maybe his little toes. These cute little toes. Okay. And then we'll go back with our 7.1 and just kind of fade it out a little bit. I think they're brown, aren't they? Well, mine's going to be brown. All right, so what color brown do I like? I actually kind of want to go dark. So I'm going to grab my 4.8 and my 4.7. And all I'm really going to do, I think, to be honest with you, is do some little flicking motions. Just the little flicking motions. I'll pull it up to the camera and show you before I add the next color. Little dots, little flicking motions. So just kind of like that. Okay, so let's do that with this guy too. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just random. All right. And I'm going to take this little tiny, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to very carefully tip his nose. There we go. And then we're going to grab our 4.7 and we're going to do the same thing. And we're just going to, little flicks. I'm not doing too many dots because the dots will look, I want them to be more flicky. I mean, I don't really know what a hedgehog looks like. I haven't seen a picture of a hedgehog in a long time. I mean, in color. But I feel like they're brown. I feel like they can be different colors. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a gerbil. Okay. Okay, thank you. I think there. I usually look up. Sometimes I look it up if I don't know, just so I can get an idea. All right, what were those two colors? 4.7. Okay, we're going to grab the 4.4 as well. And I think I'm going to just start filling in a little bit. I'm just swiping now. Trying to stay in the lines. A little bigger flicks. I don't think about it too much. I figure if somebody criticizes my coloring, they don't really, I don't need to worry about them. And I'm going to go down to one more, 4.2. And then this gun, we're just going to kind of, and I'm doing circle motions. And that will kind of swirl it all together. I don't color like I used to. I used to do a lot of coloring, a lot of Copic coloring. Just don't take the time to sit and color as much as I used to. So I sometimes hurry the color to get ready for my lives. And I do like to color. I used to color, when I was in college, I was a telephone operator for a small company, for a small card company where you prepaid calling card company. And we could color, we could do, we could whatever we needed to do while we were sitting there. You couldn't read, obviously, you couldn't eat, we couldn't be on phones, not that we had smartphones. So we would color, some of the other girls and we would sit and color. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab, I want a really pink cheek. There we go. That was RV 0.2. There we go. We got our little hedgehoggy guys. And I know that I could have reverse stamped them so that they were, but it's okay. We're just going to put our little hedgehogs together here like this. Like if I had reversed stamped them, I haven't done that in a long time, they could go like this, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. We could even just do one hedgehogs. But then I feel like he's lonely. So we're going to put two hedgehogs. We're going to put two little hedgehogs like this. Okay? I am loving how this turned out tonight. We'll just put this guy down right here. And then when we get our flaps closed. Now, this sentiment has all these little lines in it, so you could color those in if you really wanted to, but I am not going to take the time to do that tonight. So there is our card number 2, and I think we still have 10 minutes. So I'm not sure exactly. I said my other cards are across the way. I was going to show, I could show you any of the cards I used. But, oh, no, did I close you? What happened? Did you? Oh, okay, phew. I thought you went away. I hit my button and it disappeared, you guys. So card number 1 was the Hello Fog. And this is the inspiration box plus the stencil of the Stencilpalooza stencil. I love that flocking. Look at that flocking down there. And then this is also the inspiration box plus the stencil for the day, and then I used the Spooky Party standalone die. And I say that because there was a Spooky Party stamp set and die, but this was the standalone die from that release. And you could use any arch die to do that. So we are going to quit a few minutes early if that's okay with you guys. So I appreciate y'all so much. Have a great rest of your night, a great weekend. And remember, next week I will be, I was going to show you something, wasn't I? I was going to show you my bin. I was going to tell you that's it. I will see you guys next week. It will be pre-recorded. I will try to get in the comments, though. This is the bin I was talking about. I was so excited. I redid my bins behind me, my stamp, and I found these ones on Amazon, and they fit perfectly across the top of my Calyx units. So I got to reorganize my little area over here, and I got all my embossing folders in a bin and my dies in a bin, my most used dies in a bin. Thanks, Mom. And then so I got stuff cleaned up. And then, of course, I got live and I made a mess. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and sign off and go relax and put my feet up. Have a great night, everyone. Bye now.